The only scores bangers guy. This guy isn't the most prolific scorer out there, but when he does find the back of the net, it's a thing of beauty. Mainly playing in the midfield, this player is usually a long shot specialist who rarely ever scores a goal inside the box. The homegrown quota guy. Today, the best football teams in the world are filled with players from all over the globe, but to make sure these players can be registered for the league and the Champions League, the club has to first make sure that they have enough homegrown talent. That's where the homegrown quota guy comes in. Usually a third choice keeper, this guy rarely sees the field, and if he does, it's not in an important game. He's there to push the starters in training during the week, and then cheer them on at the weekend. Some of these guys even earn cult hero status at their respective clubs. The pace merchant. Fairly self-explanatory. While this guy might have other skills, none of them can compare to his blistering speed, and lucky for him, top tier speed can't be taught, so despite lacking in other areas, he will always have some value. Many players who started out as pace merchants have gone on to become legends of the game, because great technical skills and unmatched speed are a recipe for success. The wild card. Simply put, this guy has all the talent in the world, but he just doesn't really care. He can both single-handedly win or lose you a game. He could take on the whole team and score, or he could spend 90 minutes giving away possession. It's one of the most fun yet frustrating archetypes, because this player can often possess Ballon d'Or level talent, but he does not have the mentality to match. The wildcard usually goes down as a streets won't forget type player, lacking the consistency to go down as a world-class player. The workhorse. The polar opposite of the wildcard, the workhorse is usually not a standout technically, but has the engine and work rate to overcome it. This player will fight for the badge for the whole 90 minutes, usually covering more ground than anyone else on the field. The effort they put in often results in them becoming an instant fan favourite, from man-marking the opponent's biggest threat to busting a gut to make a last-ditch tackle. They're an invaluable part of their team. The workhorse and wildcard often work well in a pairing, as they can balance out each other's weaknesses. The Wonder Kid. The Wonder Kid is a young player with the potential to become world-class, usually falling within the age range of 15 to 21. This player is one with a large gap between current ability and potential ability. Almost every great player started as a Wonder Kid. Some were given the label after a single standout performance, and others slowly earned the title through small cameos and media reports. The Wonder Kid stage is a very fragile one, in which there are only 3 outcomes: exceeding your potential, matching your potential, or failing to hit your potential. Unfortunately, a lot more end up in the third category than the first 2. The wind-up merchant. You love to have him on your team, and you hate playing against him. The wind-up merchant excels at getting under the skin of his opponent, from taunting to trash talking to diving. This guy is a master of the dark arts, and is great at testing the mental strength of his matchup. He's okay with being disliked as long as he gives his team a slightly better chance at winning the game, and the antics don't just stop at the opposing players. This guy is a menace to the opposing fans as well, all while somehow managing to avoid the referee's gaze. The hard man, also known as the enforcer, this guy follows the mantra, 2-foot tackle first, ask questions later. This guy is the first on the scene when a fight breaks out, and is always there to defend his teammates. He's a tough tackler and will put his head where others are afraid to put their feet. In a one-on-one, you might get the ball past them, but you're not going with it. While the classic hard man is somewhat extinct in the modern game simply because the rules have changed, and you don't actually have to break someone's legs to get a red card, the spirit is still there. The showboat. There's no player more fun to watch than the showboat. He's got an endless bag of tricks and one primary goal when he's on the field: to humiliate the defender. He's a guy who reminds you why you love the game of football, and his carefree style can actually produce incredible results, even reaching Ballon d'Or level. Every famous skill move in the history of football has been created and refined by a showboat, and even though modern football is not very accommodating of this player, the skill show must go on. The brain. This is a guy who is usually not very physically gifted, but his technique and football intelligence are unmatched. He can dictate the game and make it look easy, often playing in a deep-lying midfield role. He usually flies under the radar in terms of recognition while playing, but by the time he hangs up his boots, there's no doubting his quality. The meme. The butt of every joke. This guy has become infamous for one reason or another, and the internet will not let him forget it. The local lad. Born and raised in the local area, and often a boyhood fan of the club he plays for. This guy just means more to the fans than any other. The local lad gives us a story to get behind, and is often given a lot more leniency when it comes to criticism. After all, he's one of us. The club legend. Many local lads who stay at their club and collect their fair share of silverware will end up in this category. The club legend is a world-class player who's played the majority of his career for one club, winning trophies and personal accolades along the way. Becoming a club legend is one of the greatest achievements for a professional footballer, aside from one other, the GOAT. This player has basically won it all on a personal and collective level, has broken countless records, has captured the hearts of fans the world over, and has been consistently the best player in the world over many years. While the greatest of all time should technically be one person, if you asked 100 fans who the greatest footballer is, you would get more than one answer. So while there is rarely just one of these in their prime at any point in time, if you're lucky, you might get two. Thanks for watching.